ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, hello and welcome. My mic's going. Good job, me. I'm Kristie, here on your Monday, and we're going to play some more Sunless Skies. Got a couple things I want to say to you, a couple of important announcements before we get into the Sunless Skies. The first is something that we've been saying all month, and we're going to continue saying it until we have no reason to anymore. Protests are still ongoing here in America and all over the world. If you wish to throw bits at us, as some people did during the music, we appreciate them and will gladly take them. But if you have the capability to give to groups that are helping protesters on the ground, please consider doing that thing. If you bang donate in chat, there will be some links that will lead you to good places to get information and ways you can donate your time, money, and energy. If you're watching this as a YouTube VOD, those links will be provided below in the description. And the other thing that I need to tell you is that Sunless Skies is a horror game. This is your content warning. Sunless Skies is a horror game. The moment-to-moment gameplay is fine. It's flying a ship back and forth. There's some air combat. None of it's particularly graphic. And then there's all the text. And sometimes the text is very graphic and describes hideous things. I'm going to do my best to try and read forward to things that I think are going to be a problem and let you know when there are problems with upcoming paragraphs, but I might miss one. If you need to talk about what you're feeling, this is a safe place to do that. If you need to take a break for a little while, that's okay. Please take care of yourself. And I think that's it. That's it. Let me click this button. That's going to get us into Sunless Skies. Eventually, it takes a second to spool up the Sunless Skies. It'll get there. It'll get there, don't worry. Can I show you my background real quick before that goes off? Yeah. So this is what happens when you search for GLaDOS wallpaper, by the way. You get this. And I don't hate it. I like it a lot. It's not GLaDOS, but what is? Oh, there we go. So, hey Cash, hey Mox, hey Katie, hey Andy, hey Alma. Katie just waved at me from across the room. It was very cute. And let's just jump into this. I have a plan for today, because I realized that I sort of need to be coming into these streams with a plan, rather than just trying to do commerce and then just kind of getting into whatever I get into. That's a cool thing to ban, Andy. Thank you. Hey, Bad Road. So, today is the day we're going to go into Albion. There's some stuff I want to wrap up here in the Reach. Specifically, I want to do the things we can do in the Reach for our crew members. So we need to go to Caroline for the Repentant Devil. And we do need to go to Old Tom's Well for our incautious driver. And we're gonna see how that goes. It's probably fine, but I still don't like it. So we're gonna do those two things. And then we're gonna head into London and see what happens. There's a lot of stuff for us to do there. I did a little playing off stream, as you might notice. We're in Magdalene's now. Where I'm just gonna buy a couple fuels and a couple supplies. And I did get our crew all the way up to 14 of 14, which we weren't at before. So what more crew does for you is it makes your ship go a little bit faster, at the expense of draining your supplies quicker. Which I'm completely fine with. We have quite a lot of money. We can stay good on fuel and supplies, I think. But our first stop is gonna be Old Tom's Well, which is up over here. And the quickest way to do that is just through. Just through this area and back in here, and then just hit the well. I don't feel good about it, but we're gonna. Literally all I'm hoping is that the wind isn't gonna be, blowing. It's fine. We can fight this wind. It's okay. Our terror is gonna go up a little. But we just were at Magdalen's to lose all of our terror, so that's fine. That's a little too loud, eh? I'm gonna tank that down for y'all. Oh, whoops. I clicked off of the screen, and therefore my holding W was doing nothing. Uh-oh. Our terror is gonna go up a little as a 2020 mood. For better or for worse. If we go up, rather than straight across, can we get out of the wind enough to actually have that make a difference? I think so. Yeah, we're not in the wind anymore. I don't think. Our stuff's still going down like we're in the wind. No, we made it out. That's fine. 2016 to present mood. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's rough out here, but there's victories. We don't really talk about politics here for a variety of reasons. But Supreme Court came back. There were good things in there. There were also not so good things in there. We're gonna take what we can and move on, and collect our momentum and push forward. Ah, dick. No, you're fine. You just need to stay over there. No, don't follow me. Alright, fine. You wanna follow me? Come follow me then. Hey, my dude. Ooh. Okay, here it goes. Approaching Old Tom's Well. Below, beneath the scudding clouds, a speckle of structures cling to a shelf of ice. The well winds drag at your engine like the frantic clutch of a drowning man. The well gapes. Did you just use dick as an interjection? I used it as an expletive. But yes. We actually have a pretty good chance of landing without damaging our hull. So, let's make that happen. Ooh, we got there. 98% hit. This is an XCOM. A descent. Down through the tearing mists. Through the wind-whipped particulates that thunder on your hull. Through the shrieking winds which fall abruptly still. A ledge of black ice has accreted over centuries at the well's edge, with a raised lip that affords a sliver of shelter. A handful of beehive huts huddle around a crude church. They are built from roughly chopped blocks of the same black ice that forms the shelf around the well. Old Tom was a prospector during the promised days that followed London's arrival in the heavens. For years he combed the reach looking for the strike that would make him rich. He didn't find it. Luckless and impoverished, he made a wish here at the well. The next month he discovered the mother of mountains and the rich Our veins that riddled her flanks. For a year, before his disappearance, he was staggeringly wealthy. Others come here now, desperate and the broken, with their final, futile wishes. So, let's do the thing we came here to do first, and escort the incautious driver to the well. Did I say incautious? The first time? I think I got there. The fungal sentience colonizing their mind has led them here, but why? The driver driven. The incautious driver strides to the very lip of the well and leans precariously out to stare into the depths. The well winds pluck at them. You grab a handful of their coat, just in case. "Can you see them, Captain? Glimmering in the dark. The bones of the sun." The driver looks back at you, their eyes suddenly as green as old emeralds. "A messenger came, inscribed with signs of peace, but it bore a well seed. Murder beneath the arches of heaven." The driver's balance shifts, they lurch, and when you pull them back onto the gritty ice. When they look up, their eyes have returned to their customary blue. "Thank you. My head is feeling very crowded, but the impulse has changed now. I need to return to the nature reserve. Its home is there. Or its parents? Its master? Not sure. I don't speak fungus." "You are learning more about the incautious driver." "I would say so. I thought you might have said unconscious driver, but I knew what you meant. I almost got there." Mock says, "I want to eat the sun's bones." I mean, they're made of, like, dark ice. You'll probably be cool forever. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. What else can we do since we're here? I mean, we're taking a hit on our terror just being here. Let's see if we can't find some shit. Enter the Kirk. A simple leaning tower and nave constructed from black, unmortared ice bricks. A voice can be heard within. What you might be hearing without is Ritzvi playing with his ball. It's a good ball, but it's very hard. And audible. The ice crunches underfoot, caking your boots with a pitchy crust. There is no door on the church. Inside, pews are carved from ice. A ragged handful of supplicants sit on them, bitten by the bone-bleak cold. On the altar, a single precarious candle burns. A lank minister reads from a dog-eared scrap of paper. "Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of desolate places." We may speak to the rank minister. Her cheekbones are as sharp as flint axe heads. Her skin is pocked by the cold, and her gaze is judgmental. "Thank you, I couldn't hear what the ball was aside from hard. Audible was the other thing it is." I guess it didn't come through. That makes sense. This is a pretty well-tuned mic. Because it's like a headset mic, not to, part the kimono too hard, but the one that Katie and Alice and Annie and Sue use is a room mic, because headset mics are difficult. So mine has a little more internal baffling. Anyway. Once the minister's dress was elaborate and fair. Now the hems are frayed. Much of the lace has stiffened with frost and snapped off. Her hair is tied in a greasy bun. "Well?" "Ask about her denomination. What branch of the church does she represent?" "The ignorant call us the cursing church, but we are the compassed, who dwell on the brinks. We are the lambs who were torn by the wolf. We are the undone, and the angel of the pit hears us where it would not hear others." "Ask about their holy text. What is that pitiful scrap of paper? It looks like a bill, or a promissory note that has passed through too many hands, and should have been cashed long ago." "The cursing psalm." Her congregation raise their hands. Each has their own leaf of paper, a single page torn from the Bible. "It's the only page that matters, the Judas Psalm. It contains the only lesson that we need to hear, the promise that those who wronged us can be made to suffer." Ask about their rights. A blessing would not go amiss. Probably. "They are not for the unconfirmed. If you want to partake of our rites, you must join our congregation. And if you want to join our congregation, you must convince me that you are one of us. A confession. Only then would you be permitted to take part in the right of wrongs." Let us offer a confession, then. "We are not concerned with crimes you may have committed, or temptations you wrestle with," the minister mutters. This is a confession of weakness. You are here because you were wronged, because you bear a grievance you cannot forgive. You are here to ask for all God's vengeance on someone. So tell me, who is to blame? We have two options here. This is not the one I'm going to pick, so I'm going to read it first. Spin a tale of injustice. Perhaps your grievances are invented. Perhaps they are complex and need to be translated into more compelling terms to meet the minister's flinty standards. So we would just lie, but we would burn a moment of inspiration to do that. Or we can actually just get super real. We can get super real because we unlocked Scandal in our past. We used that particular upgrade route, and therefore our past is scandalous. Who is to blame? Those who slandered you. Your only crime was love, or at least vigorous affection. The minister cries out, as if struck. The mouths of the wicked and the mouths of the deceitful were opened against you. She gnaws on her knuckle until the skin split, then smears the blood on your lips. Sorry, I really should have, thought to read this one forward. I think we're over it mostly, yes. A wolf resides within this lamb, a sword sleeps within this plowshare, a curse coils within this prayer. Let your grievance be heard, and let the whispers, the gossip mongers, and the extortioners be clothed in shame. Amen, a couple of people in congregation remember to mumble. You have been accepted into the Pitchkirk congregation. So this is one of the things I really like that hasn't really come to the forefront much while we've been playing, is that our level ups, revealing pieces of our past, do a lot more than just tell us why we're getting a bonus to strength or to mirrors or whatever. They also have tangible effects on who we are as a person. And I think this is fantastic. It's so good. Vigorous Affection is the title of my Chuck Tingle spin-off series. It's very, that is very Chuck Tingle, and I do like it. Being accepted, we can now enact the right of wrongs. The Compassed are a scattered and infant sect, and each minister cobbles together their own blessings as best they can. The Lank minister has composed benedictions of vengeance. You may only be subject to one well-right at a time. This one increases your iron at a cost of your hearts and mirrors. Our iron actually is, so big right now. We have so much iron. Slap's top of character sheet, this baby can fit so much iron in it. That I think it's actually a bad idea to grab that. Vigorous Affection from the Embodiment of the Existential Horror Who Lies Within the Bowels of the Sky Itself by Chuck Tingle. I'm feeling pretty tingly about that. I don't know about you. What's over at the Beehives, then? Vigorously affected by the spinning death whirlwind at the end of time. That's also great. Barnacles clinging to the edge. The sky churns as you make your way to the pitiful domes. Most are empty, awaiting a well-wisher, but the third one is not. It contains a corpse, stiff as an icicle, some supplicant who died before their wish was granted. You move on. In the fifth dwelling, you find a sallow petitioner, her eyes feverish. I saw gold in the well, she croaks, unprompted, glistening in the deeps. This has been so real, and it's great what you're doing here. I am going to leave and probably never see you again. So, peace. Or vengeance. Whatever you want. You use steaming water from the boiler to melt away the ice that clings to the windows. Then you depart, your locomotive heaving as the winds try to drive you into the well's yawning mouth. Oh, we probably don't want to go to the middle, huh? That's probably a bad idea altogether. We're just gonna swoop around this way. We're gonna get whatever those are. Supplies, that's good. And we're just gonna go right back to Magdalene's. Great little operation y'all got here. Well, goodbye forever now. No, Mox, we're not gonna go into the mouth. I have a whole other thing. I have a whole other thing to deal with. And that's Xenon. Hi, Xenon. A Slox up here. This is, your 28 months of subscription. That's as many as 2 14s, and that's wonderful. That's almost 30. How the fuck have we been doing this for 28 months? No one's stopped us. That's the thing. Yeah, we're not seeing it, but the wind has picked us up. There it is. We're just gonna slippity slide right back through here. That is true, Xenon. You missed our vigorous affection. It was a pretty good. We're just gonna park back at Magdalene's and re-lose all of that. Actually, should we do that? Should we bother? I don't think we should bother, actually, because we can just move around here, and I think if we take a loop around the memorial to the unknown rat, then that's going to be just fine, and then we can head from there down to Palomir and Plenty's in Caroline. I guess we're too close to the wind to... We're too close to the thing to not go through it, but we're not going to stop. Oh, Twitch does try every day to stop us. Imagine if Google had bought Twitch, we would have been shut down already. Oh, yeah. Yay, content creators. Okay, fine. Oh my god. Why do you make me do this? Alright. The crew of this weathered engine, we're just gonna scavenge for parts. We don't need a lot more hull. We were almost full, but now we are full. So that's good. I'm scared for the day when Amazon inevitably buy Discord. They haven't? That's like a real question. I thought for sure that Amazon had bought out Discord, because you can use Twitch emotes just on Discord. Like, I thought that was a thing. I thought Amazon was in talks for it already. They haven't done it yet. I mean, it is shaped like it's already a fully owned subsidiary of Amazon. Well, I did hit 7 and then realized that I didn't have my soundboard up. I'll fix that once we get to Palomir and Plenty's. Right now, let's just marvel at this wonderful rat statue we have. It's wearing goggles, the rat statue. Which I do like. I hope you all are having a pleasant day. I'm a little frazzled myself. But, there's a lot going on. Oh yeah, just so that you remember what's happening, we did take that Marauder Mangonel a little while ago. So, in addition to the cool minigun, we do have a bigger gun. That does, like, actually really a lot of damage. Oh, hey. There's ours. We actually really need ours right now. I mean, I accidentally speedrun earlier, so I'm still riding that high. Xenon used to be a speedrunner once. I did hear that. I remember those glorious days where you were the #1 Sly Fox speedrunner. From what I gather, if you have a Twitch channel with emotes and a Discord server, you can use your emotes on your Discord as well as all the members of your server, which is usually your subscribers. Yeah, I'm not on Discord much anymore, but I occasionally hit up the Loading Ready Run Discord just for, like, to get gifts off of their gift board, and that's what they've got going. I used to be a speedrunner, and then you took an arrow to the knee? You know that's not nice. I had to turn off notifications because speedrunners kept beating me, and I'd get an email every time. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Ooh, we needed fuel, and there's not fuel here. They sell fuel at Caroline, right? No, they sell supplies at Caroline. So I guess we're gonna hit New Winchester first, so that we can stock up on fuel before we head down to Caroline and get that other thing done. Oh, right, and we need to go to... Dunk. That's so bad. The incautious driver needs to go to the nature reserve now, and if I'd have been thinking about it for, like, a little while, I'd have gone and done that, and then I didn't. It would have been right there. Well, this will be our one last, like, big roundup, right? We'll go everywhere, and, before we head out to Albion. Palomir and Plinius is going along well, though. There's new arrivals at the circus, so we can hire people. If we go to the Inconceivable Circus, there's the Greatest Show. I wonder how the amusements are doing. The standards have improved since you first visited. I don't know what this text looks like. Your terror has fallen, so that's good. You and your crew spend several hours enjoying the offerings of the newly revitalized circus. The strong woman salutes you, effortlessly supporting a heavy bar with the other hand. The urchin at the drink stand gives you a drink with probably no spit in it at all. By the time your ticket expires, your crew is considerably more relaxed. I got confused because the portal speedrun was 6:54:00, and I was like, I beat that in 3.5 hours my first time, and then realized that the 6 was minutes. Yeah, the portal speedrun is wild. The glitchful, I think that's what they call it. I think that's the official terminology. The glitchful speedrun of Portal is a whole heck of a thing. If we attend another performance, can our terror go down more? No, but we did get some stuff. Circus staff have hinted that the ringmaster might care for work. We've read this. We've read that all. That was what we read last week. Does the ringmaster want to talk with us about stuff? No. No, they sure don't. Alright, well. Done everything we can for y'all, and good tidings to you. You and your giant obelisk. I was planning on actually speedrunning after it was beat, but then they were like less than 10 minutes, and oof. Yeah, that is a pretty big oof. Thank you, Mox. Mox has again banged to donate in the chat with all of those great links to useful organizations. We're just gonna leave that alone. I injured my giant obelisk once. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I hope you were able to get it rectified. I got a snicker out of Katie, so that's good. Sometimes I'm just here to make my wife laugh. I don't care about y'all. You need those things to stay unchipped or they won't work. What, the obelisks? I mean, I know I don't want a chipped obelisk myself. I've been through that experience. It's not fun. Slox is gonna get snack. Good. I don't need to repair my locomotive. Oh, right! I'm really glad we came here, because here's the other thing I wanted to do. I forgot all about it. We're going to investigate the black box. Normally, I would be taking suggestions on how we dealt with the black box, but I've seen what happens if you just take the black box where it's supposed to go, and it's not interesting. I really want to crack it open this run, which we can absolutely do, because we can find someone who could open it for you from among your villainous associates. So, if you didn't see the first, I think just the first episode where they explained this, our story started with a return trip from the Blue Kingdom, where the dead live. And our captain, who ran our train at the time, went to go get this black box. You can see it there on the left. I tried to hover over it, but it brings up the menu. It was empty when we got there, and then we did some stuff, and then we got attacked, but it was full. And we're supposed to deliver it to an address in London? But like I said, the last time I played this game, I did that, and it just, like, kind of goes away. And I really want to see what happens when you do other stuff with it. So, we're gonna pay a lisping cracksman to crack this son of a bitch wide open. Amelia's Secrets. The cracksman does his work and departs promptly, fingering his fee. Once he's gone, you drag the heavy lid open. By the way, I don't know what's in here. I'm going to spin through a little bit, but I think it's fine. The box contains a figure clad in woven blue robes. Its face is hidden by a porcelain death mask, but it isn't a corpse. In the eye sockets, brown eyes flick open, blink at you, and frown. Apparently, you are not what it expected to see. This is one of the shades of the dead which dwell in the Blue Kingdom, and are strictly prohibited from leaving it. They are also forbidden, under any circumstances, from speaking. Captain Whitlock stole one of the shades of the dead from the Blue Kingdom, smuggling out in a box. That box has passed to you. The spirit is that of a young man, short and slightly dumpy. It exhibits the mute solemnity common to inhabitants of one of the Kingdom of the Dead. We can close the lid and attend to other matters. We can return to this if we choose. It's a loot box of fear. It's apparently fine. Oi, what you doing cracking open me box, he says. That's not great. It kills all the gravitas, I think. We can ask the shade who it is, what it's doing, ask about the shade's connection to Captain Whitlock, ask it whether Captain Whitlock rescued it from the domains of the dead, ask it to remove its mask, that seems a little personal, ask the shade what it wants you to do with it. Are we going to start here at the bottom? I think we're going to start here at the bottom. So if they're forbidden to leave and forbidden to speak, but this guy left, can he speak? That's a good question, and I guess we're about to see. The choice. You hold out one hand when you name London, and the other for the Blue Kingdom. The spirit hesitates, its own hand poised between yours. Then, lightly and hesitantly, it touches the palm of your left hand. London. You notice a faint discoloration spreading around the shade's neck and shoulders, a model of salty white. That's not fantastic. We're going to... dying. Twice? Again? I'm being told they're not exactly dead, which does sound very Fallen London. We're going to ask a couple other questions of it, but since they want to go to London, we're going to send them to London. Or him, I guess. They do say it's young man. Wait, the dead can die? Yeah, it turns out those shitty fishmen from the Game of Thrones were full of bullshit. What is dead can sure as hell die if you have a proton pack or, oh, I don't know, some sort of hella cursed wraps. Hesitantly, the shade takes your hand and with one cold finger spells out Jacob on your palm. It gives no second name. In places, the shade's skin is hardening to a glistening white crust, like salt. The contagion worsens the more you examine it, as if the very act of perceiving it was fueling its spread. I think we close the lid real quick because it is turning into salt before our eyes. We're just gonna leave that. Young man, there's a place you can go, turn into salt, and get using some sourdough starter. I don't think that's how that goes. I am not a baker. Not at all. Da, 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 da. The spirit does not complain as the stone lid slides back into place. After its time beneath the glorious, incandescent regard of the Blue Kingdom sun, perhaps it is content to spend some time in the dark. Quiet. Is there anything interesting in exploring the city? We can escort a pernickety factor. I actually don't want to do this. Let's just buy our stuff and then head off to Caroline. Please don't turn ghosts into bread. Listen, Mox, I think you're right. I'm saying you're right. And I'm saying we shouldn't turn ghosts into bread. We should instead take ghosts to where they want to go so that they don't, you know, get turned into salt, only fitting for use in bread. Oh, every run you can ask a couple of different questions. That's replay value, right? There's a lot of replay value in this game, I'd imagine. Like, I'm replaying it right now and having just a whale of a time. Because I'm doing a lot of stuff that I didn't do last time. I didn't do this whole fucking bit. I just delivered the box straight to London, and then some dude was like, oh yes, we'll take the box. Don't worry about it. Here's some money. Go away. And it's like, that seemed like it should have been a bigger story hook. 4 and 4? Yeah, I think so. Do we have hours in our bank? We don't. We have some more bronze wood. We need more hours. We need one more barrel of hours, I think. Unless we have... Sorry, I need to go into the hold real quick. Because we need some stuff if we're going to travel to Albion. What we need are 2 ministry stamped permits, and what we have is 1 ministry stamped permit. We can use hours to get there, but that means we need hours. So let's head off to Caroline and do whatever it is the fuck that the repentant devil wants to do there, and then we'll head to the nature reserve for the incautious driver. Probably hit Port Avon on the way and just pick up all of the things at once. Let's actually just go everywhere. We'll go down here to Caroline, do whatever's there. Then go to Lustrum. We can probably pick up some hours on the way there. And then up through here to Port Avon. We'll skip Trader's Wood. And Leadbetter and Stain Rods, and then over to Titania. And back to Magdalene's to kill whatever terror we had, and then into Port Prosper and off to Albion. Good. We have a game plan. Every single scene, says Katie, can be altered by your answers to other scenes, which is very good. I'm reminded of how in Detroit Become Human they show all these pathways different choices take you down, and they were clearly super proud of how expensive they were, and meanwhile Sunless Skies is like, you're like a little baby, watch this. I have feelings about Detroit Become Human, but this is not the place for those things. I feel like I maybe should play it before I get way deep in the paint on, like, forming an opinion about it. But I've absolutely seen a bunch of it played, and it's not... I find it insulting in a variety of ways. It is also a David Cage game, so we can just say that. It's ridiculously linear, just like every other David Cage joint. I watched a friend play a slice of it, and to be honest, I don't think you'd change your opinion. I did say to be honest. That's good. Good language. Like, I saw, to be honest is a great name for a little tea shop, by the way. I agree with that statement. Get fucked, Dan. I'm just gonna get this money. You've gained 18 monies. I mean, yeah, have you never played an overarching Shadowrun campaign? If you could change things, would it be Cyberpunk? So that's an interesting question. Is Detroit Become Human Cyberpunk by the popular definitions? That's the thing I try to do from We Rescued Lolfear from Wayne Gretzky. I think you've told this story before. But it is a good story. I'm really glad that we have a gun that can just take those out in one go. Detroit Become Human is like the most basic, shallow-ass version of, Oh, no, that's gonna make us lose crew. It says we have a chance to lose crew, but we'll lose crew. Let's just, get some more money. Partial success, you say? Ew. This one's a little gory, so watch out. Hauling the creature alongside your locomotive, you deploy hammers and pry bars. There, valuable stones glimmer amidst the whirls of uncanny fossils. The fossil shapes are sinuous and predatory, preserved for unknown aeons in the cantankerized stony skin. 24 sovereign, but a little more terror than we had before. I'm about to go back to Snack, but I just wanted to say I don't know things about Detroit Become Human, but I did watch some of it, and it feels like Cyberpunk, but with someone over your shoulder going, it makes you think the whole time. Yeah. That's a very good way to put it, yes. It just wants to, like, slap you over the head with its idea until you're thoroughly concussed and think it's, you know, deep. We're gonna go to an overgrown shrine and get rid of this terror that we have. We are super not gonna steal an offering from the eye full of eyes. Why would we do that thing? Enter Caroline's foyer. Gonna get a port report. And... speak to the presiding devilress? Yeah, this is how we get here. Her apron is starched, her dress pinstriped. There is a stack of patient files on her desk, color-coded. The corners of her mouth say that she knows something to your disadvantage. Let us introduce the repentant devil to the presiding devilress. Use the full and florid title that appears on his visiting card. When the devilress is not visibly impressed, the devil says, "Brought a small gift, a trifle you might find of value." He produces from his satchel a 3-volume set bound in fire, his own work. Some methods of flavoring a soul to the taste of a particular judgment. She reads. She tosses the set on her desk. It huffs smoke. We are just a touch more modern now. It's a fine antiquarian piece, she adds unforgivably. but we find those approaches rather cumbersome. Besides, we find we need to appeal to the original owners of the souls, offer them an experience worth paying for. We have two options, and I will be asking what you all feel about this. Let him show how she's wrong. In its various gardens, Caroline punishes souls into greater refinement. Perhaps he would like to visit one and demonstrate how it can be improved. Or we can persuade him to withdraw. No doubt he could show the presiding devilress some interesting tricks. It is not so clear that you would still be welcome afterwards. So are we gonna push on this? Are we gonna stand by our crew, or it's fine if we don't? Katie wants to see the tricks. I don't think persuading him to withdraw is necessarily treats. Stand by crew. That's 2 up. We're just gonna go with that then, I think. I think persuade him back down is the safer avenue. It is. Probably, but it might upset the man who is a devil who is on our train and knows where we sleep. Bad Road says, so let's see how she's wrong. Let's go with that then. That's 3 to 1, I feel. The repentant devil adjusts this mirror to reflect futures, adjusts that blade to cut off the sense of smell. He leaves the penitents howling. Before you go, one of the penitents approaches with a note. Someone was here looking for the devil. The note just didn't make its way through official channels. Learning about the repentant devil, you have collected what evidence you could find about the repentant devil in Caroline. The repentant devil has become more ambitious. Bad Road's correct. We're not here to be safe. This line of text, I'm certain that I've read it before, but I'd forgotten about it, and I don't know what it means in context. I guess we'll see how that affects things moving forward. It's good that we have an ambitious and ancient devil on our ship, where we sleep. We can buy munitions. We don't really need. Oh, I should have checked the bazaar before I left New Winchester. See if there was something we could do while we're out, but I guess that's fine. Okay, so from here out to Lustrum, try and get some hours on the way. They certainly sell hours there if we need them. And then from there to Port Avon, to the nature reserve, and back again. A hobbit's holiday. The repentant devil has become more ambitious. That's not ominous at all. Is it, though? Is it good that we have an ambitious ancient devil on our ship who can apparently bind books in fire? Is that really a good plan? Listen. The skies of the endless heavens are interesting and full of results you might not be able to predict. We're just gonna see how it goes, I guess. We might not die horribly. That's always a choice, that we could just not die horribly. If it were me, I would just not die horribly. Let's disperse the rubble. We're not getting enough sovereigns out of this to make it worth it, and I would like to lose some terror. I saw a craveable offer this way. Oh, that's definitely one, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go to the one that looks exactly like it. Is there a kind of devil aside from ancient? That's actually a good question. There's a wind. So that's good. Trying to draw us into the Hellmouth? Yeah. Yeah, I figured. It's fine, we did get that other one. Didn't they predate Let There Be Light? I don't think that the... Oh, it's good we didn't go for the other thing, because the other thing was this. And we don't have an assaying sphere, so we can't get into the ghost mines. So the devils from this universe aren't like Christian devils from Christian hell. They're not too far off, but they stop a little short of like actually being that thing. I mean, sure, they've created their own multi-tiered layers of damnation where you can get your soul purified in a variety of ways until you're, oh, I don't know, bored with it. But they're not like those. They're not that necessarily. They're possibly what modern Christian devils were based on. I'm not gonna read that because that actually just pisses me off. Don't worry about it. It's just a thing about how the incognito princess is like really shitty. Lustrum. The frantic, hustling heart of Lustrum, crammed with prospectors, peddlers, and purveyors of essential and occasionally legal services. Let's join the celebration. We don't need any crew, and that'll kill our terror. That's great. Do we have any charred nameplates? We don't, so we don't need to deal with that. Let's write a port report. Let's... Shops? Yeah, shops. We need fuel and supplies still. Let's pop both of those up. One time. I think we only need 2 hours to get on the on the trip to Albion, so we've got that in the bag. Modern Christian devils based on deities from other religions? Yeah, sure. Basically. Ah, you absolute fuckstick. Come here. Ah, fine. I'm just gonna leave that other thing. Oh, right, if we go this way, there's a chance of us being jumped by the thick bat. Well, let's see if that happens. This is a fun game we're playing now. Inside the other game that we're playing now that's also fun, we're now playing the Let's Not Get Jumped by a Giant Bat game. So we're just going to stick to this wall just as hard as we can. We could go over and get this this mineable over here, get some more hours, but nah. No, we're not doing that. Satan in modern translation is like 30 different characters. Yeah. An absolute fuckstick. Fucksticks, absolutely. That's very good. See, if you're gonna have a fuckstick in your life, you don't want them to be a partial fuckstick, is the thing. You want them to be an absolute fuckstick. How are we gonna do this? Oh, that's pointy, huh? Yeah, that's way too pointy. Don't like it. Do I have a... while we're traveling, I'm looking at my OBS, and I'm realizing that OBS doesn't have a space for how many people we are... Oh, hey. What? No, we're homies. Listen, you weren't there. Good. There's not a space for how many people we are, currently broadcasting to, which I guess isn't information I need moment to moment, but, you know, it's nice to see. We're currently fluctuating between 9 and 10, I'm told. Alright, I'm gonna stop the ship for a second. Listen to this sound. Not that. There's a sound in the background. I was talking about it the other week. It sounds like leather being stretched. It's really uncomfortable in the headphones. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, how is the... Or twisting a rope. Okay, good, so it is audible. How is the sound volume just kind of generally? I tanked it down while we were near the well because the sound was very loud then. But it hasn't been that for a little while. And maybe I could turn it up. Honestly, I think it's pretty perfect. Okay, then. It sounds like when you swing the Soul Reaver. Oh no. That's not what we want. No one wants that thing. Hey, don't worry about it. Oh, it's like that, but with less screaming. There is a lot less screaming. So, we're approaching the time I would normally take a break. We might go a little past 10 o'clock, which is when I usually do that. That's our time here in the Central Time Zone. Because I do want to hit the nature reserve before we go and do any other thing. So we're gonna hit Port Avon and just check it out, write a port report, and then go up to the nature reserve. And once we get there and talk to our good friend, the incautious driver, one more time, we'll let that go. We'll head off to break. That's our time. It's our time down here. Up there, it's their time, and they're doing the best they can, but down here, it's us. The Goonies is an incredible film. Katie's saying she hasn't seen The Goonies since she was 19. Oh, until 1992. It's a very good movie. Like, there are problems with the film The Goonies. There are a lot of problems, actually, with the film The Goonies. The core idea of it is quite good, and then there's a lot of stereotypes and bad secondary bullshit. Right, like Chrono Trigger, apparently. We're gonna head to the Village Green and write our port report. That's not where we do that, I guess. Port Avon Dock? Do we already have a port report from here? It kind of looks like it. Oh, let's do this thing since we're here real quick. Let's intercede in a mushroomy matter. The pub is out of scrumpy. The barman blames a creature, a cross between a mushroom and a jellyfish. It sways in its seat at the bar. Who does this creature belong to? Bellows a man, fuchsia with rage. The Blemigan, he points at, is a grizzled member of its species, most of whom were left behind in the Neath. The fuchsia gentleman roars in fury. Between bellows, the truth emerges. The Blemigan is no one's pet, and, far worse, no one will admit responsibility for its tab. The Blemigan is unconcerned with the tumult. It nods its cap at you with grim respect, then flops the tendril into a mug of stout. It stares bleakly through the window. Let's settle its bar tab. The Blemigan is looking to sign on for one last journey. If you settle its bill, it'll join you on the locomotive. This will give you a mascot that raises your iron by 2 and mirrors by 1. It doesn't matter how much that costs. $50? Sure. Welcome aboard. As the fuchsia gentleman inflates for a particularly prolonged diatribe about ill-mannered captains and their disorderly pets, the Blemigan climbs to the bar top to consider your face. It likes what it sees. With a sound like a shoe being pulled from a swamp, the Blemigan finishes its drink. It clambers up your arm until it reaches your shoulder, from where it directs you to the door. It is experienced in surviving the cold of the heavens and the heat of those too cowardly to traverse them. It respects you. It will serve you well. They're very good, the mushroom jellyfish people. I like them. We have one of our own now. Oh, does Leadbetter and Stainrod sell? It does sell fuel and supplies. Good. So we're just gonna sway over to there, like Dragon Boy. That's someone I probably should stop referencing too, eh? That's fine. How about Super Dragon? It's never been a good time to reference Super Dragon. Super Dragon. Tat, 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 tat. Okay, there it goes. The thing got stuck. It's like, the thing is, that's actually a really bad story. About Super Dragon being a terrible person, and I don't enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, no one died, so it is fine. I prefer Dragon. He's 2 dragons. So we got this, I was about to say we got this game as though it was a one thing. But there was this, game in the Itch.io bundle for racial equality and justice. That is a RPG Maker game based around the wrestling promotion Kaiju Big Battle, which you may have seen on Gil and Gilbert if you watch Gil and Gilbert. And I super want to play it, but a piece of me wants to stream it, and the rest of me that isn't that one piece says, no, you do not have the energy to do menu-based combat for 12 hours on a stream. Maybe I'll do it anyway. We'll see how it goes. Leadbetter and Stainrod is an elderly London company, etc., etc. Let's go to Leadbetter and Stainrod Bay. That's not it. Capabilities Inquest. Albert's Idyll. Into the reserve. Here we go. The park is filled with birds and flowers, trees and woodland creatures. The streams and bumbling insects and other insidious dangers. Visitors are not allowed to venture too deeply into the reserve without an escort. Normally, our very handsome ornithologist friend would walk us around the reserve, but instead of that, we're going to follow our NB driver with the colonization of fungus in their brain. That seems like it's going to go well. Perfectly safe. Reunion. Deep in the wilderness stands a mighty tree, shriveled and dry. A fungal growth twists around it, its blooms flecked with purple and black. The incautious driver approaches it, lying down in supplication. The verdant pulses, its buds splitting open and erupting in a spore fall that soon coats the driver in shimmering emerald dust. For several minutes, there is silence. The driver emerges, their faces crestfallen. It wasn't enough. What I brought it was only half the story. It needs more. You escort them back to the train. They should be more coherent after a good meal and a few hours' sleep. The driver needs time to process what has just happened. So, in a little while, we're going to get a pop-up that says, hey, driver wants to talk to you. Which is going to be real interesting. Let's buy some supplies real quick. And... what's the bazaar? Oh, unseasoned hours. We could have got them here cheap. But I guess we got them free. So, it is 10:02, and I'm going to go take a break and get some water and stretch my legs. while I'm doing that, I suggest you do whatever self-care is important to you. While we're in the BRB, we're going to run a quick ad break where if you watched it, we would make a couple of pennies. If you choose not to, that's okay. Control your viewing experience here in the year of our Lord 2020. That's another reason we'll never be Twitch affiliates, by the way. Or partners. We're affiliates now. They won't let us be partners because we say block their ads actively. So that's what that's going to be. Like I said, in 3 to 5 minutes, we will come back and we will catch you then. I'm continually mystified by why shitty people think that things they make are not proving our point continuously. It's actually really weird. I'm back, by the way. I got water. I did also get some wine, so this is gonna go downhill rapidly. In terms of just me having my face mouth work in the way that the holes are meant to. Let's get back into the game. There it is. We're still at Ledbetter and Stain Rods. We've not moved. We're just gonna burr from. She already has women in song. Not incorrect. I did a song earlier. Remember that bit a little while ago when I did a song? It was a good song. We're dropping a couple of frames. It's gonna be fine. Over the course of the entire evening, we've dropped 800 frames total. That's okay. Let's head on to Titania, and then Magdalene's, and then off to Port Prosper and Albion. I think I got possessed for a second because I typed that message without thinking, without my fingers stopping. That's the thing, it's hard to do that with the face mouth to make the holes do what they're meant to. Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. I just did a real quick type of that message. I know that sometimes that's difficult for you, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I did a sitting in which I did it in a sitting. Oh, because Andy was playing Portal, and did it in one sitting. Which doesn't surprise me a lot. Portal can take like a while to go through your first time, but once you have sort of because it's all learning the systems, right? Once you have a sort of handle on how the puzzles work, even like if you haven't played them in a long time, your brain still goes, oh right, you can put portals here, but you can't put them there, and there's much less trial and error because you've done most of it already. I agree that Portal is like a tutorial for Portal 2. Oh, we found some more chorister bees. We're just gonna go around. We've pissed off the chorister bees. Oh, it turns out we've annoyed the bees. This isn't ideal. Sure is. What? Oh. It appears we've upset the bees, yes, is what I said. I'm apparently being quoted. I can say that because I'm being asked precisely what I said. I'm just gonna leave y'all alone. We're just gonna stop in at Titanian, see what happens there. We can lose some of our terror, I think. Are you faster than bees now? Yeah, the bees aren't particularly... Thank God, I was really hoping we'd run into y'all. Okay, we got a game now. The bees aren't particularly fast, and they give up after a little while because they don't hold grudges like crows do. But all of that stuff, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's recruit the Rat Brigade. Oi, down here! 3 rats glower up at you. They're wearing tattered military uniforms and carry rusted derringers. They are polite enough to point them elsewhere. We can invite them to board our locomotive. Many hands make light work. This will give us chief engineers, who will increase your veils by 6, irons by 2, and affiliation villainy by 1. If you thought I wasn't going to take a trio of intelligent rats onto my locomotive, you don't know me. A new beginning. The smallest, most scarred rat is called Cinders. She introduces her companions. This, she indicates the rat wearing goggles, is my second Petronella, our mechanic. She gestures towards a rat with glossy fur. And this is our agent provocateur, Albrecht. The rat inclines his head. We need a locomotive. These battle-hardened rats are all that remain of the Rat Regiment, a mercenary company active in the early days of the Winchester War. Used to be a dozen of us, the best sappers around, says Cinders. Now look at us. Her whiskers twitch. Time for that later. We'll pay, Captain. They're aboard your engine. We're learning about the Rat Brigade, and I'm so glad we're learning about the Rat Brigade. Hi, Bee. Just so you know, my mom won't ride on your train after this. I don't know your mom. I don't know your mom. Let's attend an art exhibition. Basking in culture. I just did that to lower the terror, so we don't have to spend quite as much time at Magdalen's here in a minute. You spend several pleasant hours surrounded by art, much of it painted with pigments sourced from the Reacher's unique flora and inspired by the lingering threat of chorister bees. Once the visitors have moved away, however, they immediately launch into lengthy diatribes on the many ways they could have done better. My mom doesn't like rats or mice or a lot of other rodents. Listen, rodents are great. I know you know that. Write a port report. Why not? And we just burn straight from here to Magdalen's and off to Prosper? Yeah, the bees probably won't kill us. Said they probably won't kill us. These bees? Nah, these bees are cool. They don't mind us. We're just on our way. Bees, says Bee. Unsurprisingly. Emojis don't work. They do work. You're just not supposed to do them like that. If there's a bee emoji in the, like, Twitch setup, then it would just be, like, bee whatever it is. Without the colons on either side. Like, I type LRR and then horn in caps to get the, like, air horn I use for stuff. With no, other characters in. Oh, gonna hit the side. Yup, sure did. It's fine, though. I'm fairly sure Twitch doesn't have a bee emote. Well, that's a problem with Twitch, isn't it? One of several. Go to the keepsake market. While away with time with the other captains. Oh, that dumps our terror all the way down. Holy gosh. And I'll tell you what. Let's crack both of these. And I said we were going to go straight to Port Prosper from here, and that's wrong. We're going to go down to New Winchester. We're going to stop by the Victory Hall to drop off all of our port reports, because we have so many port reports, so we can make a lot of money. We'll go to New Winchester, repair our hull, so we'll have a full hull. And then we'll go from there to Port Prosper and on to the relay. Is this game somewhat like Darkest Dungeon? In that Darkest Dungeon is also a cosmic horror game. It's similar in that way, but there's a lot of significant differences. This game is closer to a visual novel that sometimes you do combat in. Whereas the majority of what Darkest Dungeon wants to do is, I just ran right into that one, huh? Whereas what the majority of Darkest Dungeon wants to do is your very tense combat. Let's seek unusual items or gain sovereigns. Let's just gain sovereigns. Kill marauders, get money. Honestly, I think we did most of our hull damage to ourselves because I absolutely let the engines overheat once or twice. When we were over near Lustrum. Oh, right, the homesteads. I'm going to defeat this marauder real quick, and then I'm going to talk about the homesteads for a second. Please don't let me forget that I mean to talk about the homesteads. Because right now I'm in the middle of the fighting. You know, as one does. There we go, wonderful. That's gone now. Ugh, okay, no, it's fine. The waste wave kind of stepped on us again, but we got there. Also, the update for Kirby and Sail is not live yet, so there's almost certainly not going to be a stream from me tonight. Oh, that sucks. I heard you say it was probably going to be delayed, but I'm sad it couldn't make it happen for you. Right. So, like I said, I played a little bit off-stream just to get some money built up and figure out what our plan was going to be today. And something happened that I don't think I can let slip by. Thank you, Xenon. Thank you for reminding me. I got there on my own, but still, thank you for reminding me. So, something happened that I didn't want to slip by. I stopped by the homestead, and I needed some supplies because I was running low. So I sat and had dinner at a homestead, like we've done a couple of times. They weren't having regular meat there. They were having special meat there. So now we know what special meat tastes like. And that's something that we have now marked on our character forever. I'm sure it's fine. I just wanted you to know, so that if it comes up, it's not, gonna be too weird. Let's deliver our port reports. 800 sovereigns. Seriously, really good. Where are we at, sovereigns-wise? Over 1,000? That's fine. Special meat is a euphemism for a human 100% of the time in video games. Yep. That's that. And Fallout, it strains me. No, Twitch isn't well, Twitch is buffering, but it's because we're having very occasional frame drops, and it's weird. Let's go to repair our locomotive. And have our hull... Oh, I hit partial repair. I shouldn't have done that. I should have fully repaired our hull. There we go. And our hull's fully repaired. And we're gonna buy some damn old fuel to get us all the way up to our good friends at Port Prosper. We're gonna stop by the Memorial to the Unknown Rat and just see it one last time before we leave, and it's gonna be great. Oh, donk. I'm sure that low latency is great for people who live in huge cities and have good internet. Yeah. I was on another channel and dropped the Twitch is a very well-made website line and was informed I had made a joke. Yeah. Thank you, that was the joke. Thank you, Ted. I like the idea of low latency mode, and it does work fine if you have a connection that's worth a damn. It works reasonably well on our computers here. But if it were even a little bit worse than ours, I can see it being just a complete hassle rate. Plus, Twitch tries to, like, get me to turn it off every time I know the problem's on their end. It's like, oh, is your stream buffering a whole bunch? Yeah, my dude. Because your ingest server's trash. For me, it's notably worse with it on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. Our problem here with Cox Communications, may they be placed against the wall, isn't latency, it is noise on the line. Like, it's not that our speeds are bad, our speeds are actually pretty reasonable. The problem is that they keep getting interrupted. Twitch has ingest servers? They're literally a joke? Ah, very good. You've done it. Tip yourself a hat. I'm gonna have a sip of this water while we wait. Ah, fuck. I meant to bring up the soundboard while we were at the BRB, and I didn't. Thank you, Xenon. I feel like there's some sort of optimizing thing that could be done for video streams to make it work better for bad internets, but I have no clue how internet and websites work. From what I hear, almost nobody understands how internet and websites work, but I'm certain you're right. The problem is that no one cares about doing it because it affects people who won't give them money for it. So, won't or can't. There's an optimizing thing called Twitch giving transcoding options. Oh no. Oh no, I wasn't aware the technology existed and was freely available. Thank you, Mox. Hey, while we're waiting to get to the relay, maybe you feel like checking out those links? They're good links. So we don't want to, we've talked about this in the house. We don't really want to put those on a timer because they have things that are on a timer have a tendency to fade away to background noise, which is absolutely not what we want. We want the donate link to be something that is an active part of, like, the chatting experience, something that you notice when it comes up. So that is why I mention it every time I see it. I hate that to a large degree people who don't have good internet or can't afford good internet are being left behind by the World Wide Web in America. Yeah, it's very bad. Okay. A stone edifice scintillant with sigils, the Albion Transit Relay, is encased in a contrivance of steel and brass. This is a Singh-Jenkins relay, allowing the transport via a loophole in some cosmic mandate across the sunless waste to a far-flung district of heaven. This one leads to Albion, the heart of the new British Empire and the seat of Her Renewed Majesty, Queen Victoria. We can bribe the superintendent to give us a travel permit. We need better veils to make that happen, which we can do. Let's just go into our officers tab real quick. Who gives us veils? The Fortunate Navigator gives us veils. We got that. 2 veils, 6 veils. Hey, yeah, I think 6 is the one that makes the ding noise. Okay, well, since he apparently really wants to talk about Caroline, let's ask him about Caroline. If I were younger, remarks the repentant devil, I would take that place from its current ownership and turn it into a fitting demonstration of the refinements of the soul. I could even work with you if I turned your ribs into glass. And he's lost in a reverie, like as Taylor sees with the vision of the ideal trousers for a particularly difficult client. When he recollects that you're still present, he adds, "You may have noticed that they do not bother to prepare each soul to order. That's the real art, of course. Match the soul to its judgment." Do we know if Caroline is sweet? Y stroke N. I've seen a couple of Carolines recently, and they haven't been great. Do we need to undock before we can do that? Or am I just doing it wrong? Let's undock and redock and see if that does anything. Oh, I guess we probably can't do it here. We'd have to go to, we'd have to go to Port Prosper to do that, but Port Prosper is just right there. So let's do that, and we'll change out for all of our veils so that this bribe goes through as best it can. And then we'll have a travel permit, and we won't have to deal with that again. The Carolina, where all the puppies live, is good, though. That's true. Carolyn, kind of difficult to deal with, even at the best of times. Caroline, she was in the city, she had a bunch of friends, I remember that show being fine. Caroline, I don't know, a lot of devils, that's not necessarily a bad thing. To our officers tab, we are collecting veils, so let's get our signaler. And I think our rats give us another 6 veils, yes, please and thank you. And neither of our mascots give us veils, so let's leave that. Yeah, and Carolina is good. There's a lot of cool things in some of the Carolinas. North Carolina is home to 2 people I like. 3 people. Possibly more. 3 that I know of. Oh yeah, you see our dice here turn from like orange to green? Yeah, we went up to 88% chance of success to make that happen. Yup. Thank you. Your generous donation to the Relay Workers Christmas Fund is gratefully accepted, although you notice that it is at no time recorded in any ledger. The superintendent is happy to present you with a little booklet of bright blue, your travel permit. Like Sweet Child of Mine, Sweet Caroline, that's almost the same thing. They're both songs, certainly. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is from North Carolina. That's good to know. Oh, North Carolina is also where Mothman goes. Good, so at least 4? I don't know a lot about Dale Earnhardt Jr., like, as a person. That was a lot of money to get that sorted. So before we're allowed to travel, we have to present ourselves to customs. Every relay is on the hunt for contraband. A pinch-faced inspector boards the ship with their retinue. Come on, hurry up. If you've nothing to hide, you've nothing to fear. Their mouth cracks into something almost, but not entirely, like a smile. Nothing from me, at least. We have nothing to declare. We have nothing to hide, and therefore, nothing to fear. The pinch-faced inspector almost looks disappointed at having to give you a clean bill of passage. Such a waste of time, they mutter, stamping the customs form. Go on, no reason to take up space here. We return to our engine. And we can, oh, we do only need 1 ministry stamped permit. We can go to Albion first class. So here's the difference between traveling to Albion first class and traveling to Albion second class. So First of all, they take different things. Ministry stamped permits are much more difficult to get than ours. We've gotten a hold of ours just like kind of roaming around. We had one in all of our playtime ministry stamped permit. The other difference is that traveling to Albion first class usually is fine. Traveling to Albion second class, some stuff can happen. It's not like on a plane where, you know, the only difference between first class and coach is that the seats are close together and you have to make small talk with someone going to the same con as you. It's that the people in first class are not going to be affected so much by the absolutely wild shit you have to go through to get from one space of the heavens to another. Second class, that might not be the case. We're gonna blow it. We're gonna blow our first class. Look, we're not playing this game to see stuff not happen. Yeah, but I wanted to use the good one first. At the sight of your papers, the superintendent jumps to activate the relay. Its hour looms rumble, spinning the pockets of new time which your locomotive will make its journey. This is something I kept meaning to say and then forgot about. So Bad Road made a comment like a couple of weeks ago about the procrastinators. This is a concept from Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. The Monks of Time have this this object called a procrastinator that they can store time on and release in various ways. The hours we've been collecting do act a lot like that. They're chunks of fossilized time that can be stretched out or compressed or used in a variety of interesting ways. So that's what that is. Wrapped in your engine's new coat of hours, it will be hard to say how long the journey takes, but the hours used by Imperial officials are languid and seasoned. The passage should at least be tolerable. The machinery grinds and stirs, the steam vents, the sigils of your edifice burn with a sullen fire, and a force like a great hand seizes your engine. I feel like I should get a Discworld audiobook. Their audiobooks are particularly good. And we're off. Grab a sip of water real quick. Loading leaves is a little to be desired. Oh, you probably heard that, huh? Sorry. Whew. And now we're here in Albion. A great dark circle. Near the center of it is London, and we'll be going there first. But like I've said before, the maps change. So that was like a teleport? Yeah, basically. Think of it more like a wormhole, but the wormhole is controlled by hideous brass circles. More like a Stargate, really. Oh, London, I've been there before. I haven't. Is it cool? Is this London, England, or London, Ontario? Well, London isn't in England anymore. It's in the sky. Which isn't better. I don't know why I just hit the map button. I don't have useful maps. I'm getting attacked by someone. No, you stay over there. The train equivalent of bobbies are going off over there to try and stop that person who's trying to shoot me. That's not it. It could be London, Texas, or New London, Texas. So, what you'll probably notice initially is that the area surrounding London is a lot more metal. It's a lot more metal than the area surrounding the Reach. The Reach is very green. It's unspoilt territory, more or less. People are just kind of starting to move into it and put up settlements. London has been very mechanized. A lot of the stuff came up with London when it came through, and it's pipes and steam everywhere. I want to show you this, and I want to talk about my history with it real quick. So, we've been hearing about the sort of deities of this existence. The waste waif and the burrower below and the storm that speaks. And they've kind of been painted as things which can interact with our world but don't have a solid presence for the most part. And then there's this. This is the storm that speaks. It's just here. You can go there. And the last time I was playing, every single time I came across the storm that speaks, a little piece of my brain said it would be cool as fuck to drive in there. I don't know what would happen if I did that thing. We might find out before this runs over. We'll see how it goes. This isn't it. This is nothing. We need to go down. Can we drive in there? We can. I think we could. I think we could just push W and get inside it. I don't think our crew would enjoy that, and again, I don't know what happens when you decide to just collide with a deity. Probably not great stuff. Looking down, you can see all the strata of London banded below you. It's very Midgar, from Final Fantasy VII. Is this the part of your brain that tells you it'd be really cool to jump off that gravel ramp looking thing? No, this is kind of more the part of my brain that occasionally says stuff like, you could just huck this brick through a window. There's no one around. No one would catch you. It's not a good part of the brain, and it doesn't have my best interests at heart. And I know that, and that's why I've... Oh, it's down here. That's why I've so far not done that thing. Oh, here it is. You can tell because it has the green lights outside of it. The vagabond inhales a hearty dose of smog. Ah, good for the lungs, Captain. We're here at St. Dominic's Station. The part of your brain that tells you to do a sick jump also doesn't have your best interests at heart. Yeah. But doing a sick jump has tangible benefits. What this is a call of the void. I think it's interesting how close the storm that speaks is to London. Isn't it? It only, to my knowledge, appears in this sphere of the Reach. And it does move around. It's not always this close to London Center. But it does sometimes come this close, and it's wild. St. Dominic's Station is thick with crowds. A brass band plays. The cause of the excitement is an unfamiliar locomotive in imperial blue, a delicate, gleaming craft whose elongated nose houses an array of lenses. A top-hatted official from the Ministry of Public Decency is delivering a speech. The first in a fleet of new Monitor-class locomotives. They will be Her Majesty's watchdogs, scouring the skies for the enemies of Albion. The crowd cheers. Most of them. We can take a tour of the new engine. If we're willing to wait in line, you might be allowed a few minutes inside. Or we can lend our voice to the protests. Not all of the crowd are enthusiastic. A disparate mix of proletariats, academics, and bohemians heckle the speaking official. I dislike authority generally. It's fine. I'm sure the Storm has lots of interesting things to say about cats and stuff. Sure. I actually bet the Storm that speaks knows a lot about cats. That is a real piece of work. Can we join in on the heckling? I would like to join in on the heckling. Let's see how the heckling goes. The Watchdog. A skeptical academic is curious to see who these enemies of Albion are. Criminals? Unionists? Anyone whose opinions differ from those of Her Majesty? A scowling station worker adds his tuppence worth. All of them fancy scopes and sounding equipment, that's for spotting smugglers. The revenue men put a lot of money into this. Another grunts. This isn't the first one either, this is all just for show. Monitors are already out there watching. One of the more fiery objectors flings a half-brick. It rings on the plating like a bell, scratching the fresh blue paint. The constabulatory close in, and you scatter. You will now encounter ministry monitors while exploring. That sounds bad. We have gained one savage secret, presumably for throwing a half-brick. A couple of things that we can do here in London. The first and most obvious, I guess, is the house without windows. This is the address given to us by Captain Whitlock's will. You make your way through little-used streets in one of London's lower, smoggier levels. This is where we were told to drop off the black box which contained Jacob, the dead man. Good old Jake. Unionists, like labor unions or political unions? Yes. There's a whole section where you can get involved in some labor union stuff, which is interesting, and I don't want to go searching for it specifically. We'll figure it out when we figure it out. We can also get involved in politics pretty directly, which is another thing that I want to do. We'll see how that goes. But first, let's go to the house without windows. To find the address given in Captain Whitlock's will, you make your way through little-used streets in one of London's lower, smoggier levels. On a secluded courtyard flanked by the backs of warehouses and factories stands a tall grey house with one door and no windows. When you knock, a blind butler answers. Yes! Deliver the black box and fulfill Captain Whitlock's last request. The end of the line. The butler is pleased. Ah, a resident has arrived. Please bring him in. Everything has been prepared according to Captain Whitlock's instructions. As you maneuver the black box inside, you ask what those instructions were. She has arranged for Master Jacob's convalescence with us. I understand the young gentleman has suffered from a prolonged illness which has left him unable to speak and afflicted him with a delicate disposition. The affairs of the house have been organized in such a way as to never inconvenience him. He will require no visitors. An extensive library has been provided for his edification. Privacy is paramount. The box in place, the butler produces a key from his pocket, but waits for you to leave before using it. Thank you for your assistance, Captain. If Amelia were still with us, she would thank you. Good day. You leave the house without windows behind, the matter of Captain Whitlock's legacy finally discharged. You have delivered the box to an address in London as Captain Whitlock requested. You've gained 2,000 experience. You've gained a sky story. You no longer possess a large black box and have gained one savage secret. So that's what happened the last time I did this. So I guess that's kind of just how that goes. I wonder if there's something else we can do. Or maybe there's not. Maybe it's just a thing that tries to push us into London and gives us a way to get orientated once we're here. That makes a little sense. Or maybe it unlocks something like even further down the road that I just haven't seen yet. We'll figure that out, I suppose. Let's go onwards. And explore London. Liberated from her prison below the earth and elevated to the heavens, Sprinkled with chimneys mantled in sooty smog, here are old, proud buildings, transported block by pale block to the sky. Here are new edifices of soaring steel and stone and gleaming glass. The ultimate achievement of Victorian ambition, unhampered by terrestrial concerns. London is a feverish brew of aspiration, empire, and appetite. Maybe if you just talk to the blue guy until he turns to salt, things happen. That's also a thing. That also might be it. I might look into this, like, on a wiki in my own time, and then just to satisfy my own curiosity. Here's the other thing we were told to do. Go with the navigator to the ambassador's house. The navigator waits for you. I've been away for some time. Your vouching for me would make a good impression. I want to make her proud. Unlocked when the navigator's promise is the navigator has requested you visit to London. Let's do that. The house is small, but is in an expensive location. It is well kept. The windows are clean, the steps freshly swept. Asphodel is flourishing in an urn by the steps. It still feels like home. The navigator gazes at the front door. It feels strange to know I'm just visiting. Ring the doorbell. The navigator stands beside you. He fidgets with a loose thread on his sleeve. The grieving matriarch herself opens the door. She sees the navigator and yelps. She laughs and it disintegrates into tears. The navigator enfolds the woman in a hug. The matriarch glares up at the navigator fondly. I've been so worried the moment I knew you'd signed up. It's so dangerous out there. What if something had happened to you, too? Good night, B. Thank you for stopping in. She hustles the pair of you into the drawing room. My husband's at work. He'll be disappointed to have missed you. The grieving matriarch is determined you will join her for tea. She even refuses to let the servants assist. She is rushing towards the kitchen when the navigator intervenes. We can't stay long. I mustn't impose on the captain. I promise I'll come back soon. He draws the matriarch close and lowers his voice. Came to ask. May I borrow the key? I haven't been able to pay my respects. The grieving matriarch looks mortified. We can stand there and listen. For the old lady to react so strongly, this must be interesting. Or we can give them some privacy. It would be unkind to intrude in their privacy at such a time. You could peruse the photos in the hallway. I think we're going to let them talk on their own. This seems really, this seems pretty dank. I also wouldn't eavesdrop. Let's do that thing. The walls are covered in family photos. Frames jostle for space. In the oldest pictures, the navigator appears as a young freckled girl skirted and scowling. In later ones, he is a tall, short-haired youth, his arm casually flung around his friend's shoulders. The matriarch brustles past. A couple of minutes later, she returns carrying a large book. This time, she attempts a smile. Finally, the navigator comes out into the hall. I have what I need. He has the book under one arm and is holding up a large iron key. What is it open? The family tomb, in Eagle's Empyrean. They took Alton back there. Speak to the fortunate navigator aboard your engine. We got some gossip, gained 1,000 experience, navigator's promise updated. Good. Look for the Baroness of Hell. We need a selection of immaculate souls to make that happen. I don't know where we get those. We'll figure it out, I guess. Oh, right. So we were asked to find a particular type of apple brandy that doesn't appear to exist anymore. Let's go and look for the shop that the Auroral Sommelier mentioned. There! You find the establishment between roofs of two collapsed houses. Under their steepled walls it bulges like a tumor. You enter, the floorboards sigh in warning under your feet. The tiling ripples underfoot like the back— oh, dick. Well, hang on, that went bad. Can I get back there? Yep, I can get back there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Immaculate souls in this economy? Listen, it's more likely than you think. The tiling ripples underfoot like the back of an animal. Inside there are aisles as thin as capillaries and shelves called into thick black fabric. There is no one here. A dusty bronze bell rests atop the equally dusty counter. But we can ring the bell. Service! The sound is sharp and silver in the murk. For a time there is nothing, no indication of life in the store. Until... What are you? Why have you come? If you're a customer, I have nothing right now, nothing I want to sell. Comes a voice from the clutter. A body soon follows the voice, peeling from the gloom. It elongates, stretching upwards, spreading into a flare of burgundy fabric. Under its hood is an unmistakably chiropteran visage, its eyes dark and curious. Katie just did a big flap on the other side of the room. It's wonderful. What the fuck is happening with this? You can ring my bell, ring my bell. Under its hood, an unmistakably chiropteran visage, its eyes dark and curious. It is one of the masters of the bazaar. Though pronounced adversaries of the Empire, one of them still stands here before you, imperious, impossible, and maybe slightly afraid. The red-clad master, capital M, glares at you from behind his counter, but it's not like that. That's just the title that all of these, this group of people have, are masters. Ask about the Hesperian cider. You repeat the auroral sommelier's comments with gusto. Your words have struck a nerve. Gone. What he wants is gone. No, not gone, but almost gone. Little more than a sweet swallow, and that isn't enough to do anything. Movement in the chthonic murk filled with carnivore purpose. You smell animal musk and hoarfrost on rose petals, and fruit both astringent and sweet. Gone, but I could make more. I was Mr. Apples once, as I was once other things, other names, and other people. You smell of oil and metal and the stars. You can take me where I need to go. You can almost touch it. Do this for me, and I will trade you something very rare and very fine indeed. A pause. My company. Mr. Apples no longer has the beverage that the sommelier mentioned. Recruit the Chiropterus Hoarder. For one reason or another, you do not say no. You're wiser than most of your kind. I'm glad you didn't say no. It would have made me unhappy, and that would have made you worse. It feeds oil to one of the dying lamps pendulating overhead, so close its breath rakes over your skin. Revealed, the Chiropterus Hoarder is massive, stooped, bat-like, where its bones do not strain to imitate humanity. But you did not, so we are now... It searches for the word friends, and not hungry things circling in the dark, watching to see who will lay down their guard first. His name is Mr. Apples. Yeah, all of the, they're all called Mr. something, the Chiropterans. We're calling them the Chiropterus Hoarder now, although I think I might just replace that with Mr. Apples, because that's very funny. The Chiropterus Hoarder has clambered aboard your engine with a vast quantity of luggage, and has joined your crew as an officer. Let's have a look at our officers, actually. Oh, you're our first quartermaster. That makes a lot of sense. This story was unlocked because you have veils of 40 or more. Okay. Oh, this is from London. This isn't the, quarter. This isn't Mr. Apples. Hear what... I'm sorry, let me start at the top. An approach from a gloomy middleman. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a long-faced man in a battered coat approaches your locomotive and asks for a moment of your time. Let's hear what he has to say. He fiddles with the bent brim of his hat as you approach, his face as solemn as a basset hound. An offer of work. His voice is nasal, his eyes gray. I will not wish you a good day. You are a person of intelligence, and the day is manifestly miserable. I myself am newly afflicted by the gout, which has made my mornings a parade of wretchedness. No doubt you have your own misfortunes, into which I will not pry. Instead, let us move to the happier subject of business. You have come to my attention for the very reasons you avoid others, your subtlety and your cunning. My employer may have work for you, profitable work, but perilous and profoundly illegal. Should you be interested, seek me at the Admiral Benbow Inn here in London. With that, he takes his leave, tutting at the thickness of the fog, before he dons his crooked hat and vanishes into the crowd. We can learn more about smuggling. And we're super gonna fucking do that. Right after this week-long break. So that's gonna be the stream, I think. It is 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna hit a couple buttons real quick. I'm gonna click the button that takes us out of the game. You had me at profoundly illegal. It's very good. So that's the one that quits the game, and here's the one that takes us to the outro screen. Hey everybody. Here we are in the outro. I'm Kristie, one of 5 women who stream on this channel, along with my wife Katie, her sisters Annie and Alice and Sue. We stream every single day on this channel except for Saturdays, so if you wanted to manipulate the follow button in whatever way is comfortable for you, we would enjoy you doing that thing. If you also wanted to check out those donate links, we would appreciate that as well. Let me run down our schedule for you so that you know what you're getting into vis-a-vis our streams. Tomorrow is Tuesday. That will be Andrea, who is going to start a new game. I can get to it. It's on the Switch. Super Mash. It's a game about taking different video game genres and slamming them together. I've seen it go a little bit, and it looks like a hell of a time. I'm really glad she's playing it. I think she's going to enjoy it a lot. Moving on from that will be Wednesday. Wednesday will be Sue playing more of the game she's been playing. I know what it is. Don't even worry about it. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, yes. Yeah, that's the thing. She's going to be playing more Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which she also enjoys. Please, it's fun watching people play games they like, I think, is my takeaway. Join her for that. Thursday is going to be Alice with more Chrono Trigger. That's a classic, I don't need to tell you that. Friday is going to be Katie playing more Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That's correct? I'm being told, yep, she's going to be playing more of the Mario and Rabbids game with Mario and the Rabbids in it. And also it's XCOM. It's a wild fucking time. Jump in for that wild time. Saturday, like I said, we don't stream. Sunday is going to be our community day, which, to the best of my knowledge, is going to be the Animal Crossing stream, since we didn't do it last week. That's about how we're looking? That's about how we're looking. So join us Sunday for Animal Crossing Island Tours. For anyone in our community who has Animal Crossing New Horizons and wants to be included to that, drop us a line. It'll be great. What's after that? It goes back around to me, because that's Sunday, and then next Monday will be me with more Sunless guys. We've just gotten to London, and holy crap, there's a lot to do here. We'll learn about smuggling. We'll start propping up a union. We might become a member of parliament. Who the fuck knows? It's a wacky time out here, and I love it. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for following those donate links and supporting protesters on the ground. Black Lives Matter. Thank you for going to our YouTube. Maybe you want to go to our YouTube, youtube.truck.community. It's easy to get to. There's a whole lot of information there. I think that is everything. Yes, that is everything. Yes, that is everything. Thank you so much for joining me. And until I see you next time, stay safe.